Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Fly Fishing, and I just recently launched a video on the still photography techniques and gear that I use when I'm on the water, and I touched on video. In this one, we're going to look at what I actually do these days when I go out to shoot video on the water. It comes with its own challenges, and especially considering I'm both the cameraman and the angler. So I've got to have a setup that allows me to manage everything, the framing of the shot, the exposure, the audio, everything while I'm fishing. So this is the kind of stuff I've got that I take on the water with me, and it all fits in this backpack arrangement. So I can carry the whole thing wherever I need to go. And I'm going to start off in a bit of an unusual area of the subject. I'm going to start off with tripods first. This is a very old tripod of mine, and I'm going to, hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'll put it against my shirt and you'll be able to see it. You see I've got this video pan head, a typical video pan head, nothing special about it. But here, what's on here is actually a GoPro mount, and that's mounted on the center post of the tripod. And this is the key I have to getting decent video, is I've got this bridge camera here, this Panasonic bridge camera, as my video camera, my main video camera. And I've got that mounted on the pan head, and then I've got the GoPro mounted on the post of the tripod. And what that allows me to do is have a close-up of me and a wide view of me. It also allows me to pan the head when I'm behind the camera. I can pan the Panasonic, I can pan the top camera, but the bottom camera, the GoPro, remains pointed at its subject. It gives me a bit of flexibility to be able to work from behind the camera when I'm just doing a sort of a scene shot, and get in front of the camera and be able to get a shot of both me close up and wide without me having to jiggle the Panasonic backwards and forwards on its zoom. So let's talk about what I'm using as my primary camera. This is a Panasonic FZ1000. It's not weatherproof, and that's my only drawback with it. I wish it was weatherproof. The sensor in it's perfectly adequate with video. Like the GoPro, it is capable of continuous recording, which is really nice. It'll keep going past that 4 gigabyte file limit that I spoke about in my other video. The the zoom on this is excellent. In 35 millimeter terms, it goes from 25 to 400. So that's a lot of coverage. Now, it is a slow lens, but I'm using it outdoors, so I don't really have that big of a problem. When I'm doing video, I usually do it in broad daylight, the middle of the day, get the best light for the job. It also has the selfie screen, which is vital for me to be able to see where I'm positioned in the shot. Because, as I say, I am my own cameraman while I'm doing the video. And it has a full suite of controls. It allows me to do what I want. I think the one big drawback is it does not support, it's not weatherproof, so it doesn't support being used in bad weather. It does have a microphone jack, which is important if you're going to do outdoor video, because we can't rely on the camera to provide decent audio. The audio qualities of the mics here are only good at relatively close distance. So if you're like 5 foot, 6 foot away, this will work okay, but it's still not great audio. So if you're going to go out and do some outdoor video, believe it or not, the video part is not going to be that big a challenge. You'll get around that fairly quickly, especially if you've got some still photography experience. It is the audio that's the challenge. So let's look at some of the audio gear I use. Well, one of the most common devices that we can use is what we call a shotgun mic, which is what this one is. It fits on top of the camera. It's designed for use with still cameras that have video function. So it has the hot shoe mount that we would normally find in a camera like this. In a mic like this on that kind of camera. The thing is, with shotgun mics, 10 foot's about the range. 8 to 10 foot is okay. We get past that, it starts to be a bit of a problem. You have difficulty hearing clearly. It also picks up a lot of ambient noise. So if you've got a lot of water noise and you've got a lot of bird noise and trees rustling and all that kind of stuff, it'll pick all that up, which can be an advantage if that's what you're looking for. There are other opportunities. Now, I've got two here. One is a wireless setup, which is here. You get into interference problems, you get into range problems. Very annoying, and you hear the zzz, zzz. It's a range problem. And often you're not that far away. It could be just you just turned your body and you've blocked the transmitter and zip, zip. You can spend a lot of money on wireless and get better quality than this, but this stuff wasn't cheap, and it's still not that great. It could be better. The range on it is very limited. I've gone through all the batteries and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't improve the range. You're in around about 20 feet. Get beyond that, zip, zip, zip. Very, very annoying. So I've come up with a different solution. And I've been using this for a long time. This is a Zoom recorder. And so I'm recording my audio separately. I'm also recording on the camera. I'm using the camera audio for synchronization purposes, but this is what the actual audio is recorded on. And here is my secret weapon. It's a ball cap modified with the lavalier mic right there. And I've got an earpiece so I can hear what's going on, and this connects to the Zoom. And the beauty of this rig is no matter where I turn my head, left or right, up or down, that mic never changes position in relationship to my mouth. So the audio is constant no matter how I'm turning my head. And the other thing about this is being under the brim of the hat, it cuts down the wind noise quite a bit. Even though it's got a wind shield on it, it still is going to pick up a lot of wind noise. And the brim of the hat cuts that down. And the other thing is, when it's out here, it's not touching anything. When it's on my shirt, it can easily rustle up against my shirt, my jacket, my vest, whatever's there. The lav can brush against it and hear in your audio. Up here, it doesn't do that. So this has been the secret. Having this wire here, you'll see that in some of my videos. You see this wire hanging down. I try to tuck it out of the way, but that hooks up to the Zoom recorder, and in the earpiece, I can hear what's going on. I can hear what the recorder is picking up. So by having that little hat, and that's my little invention, it's saved me a lot of bother. So as I said, audio is the biggest pain. So a combination of that hat and this recorder, and you can solve a lot of your audio problems. And then you're using the camera audio simply for synchronization purposes. So for example, if I'm using both the GoPro and the Panasonic, I'll be recording audio on both of those, but both the audio tracks on these are useless except for synchronization. And this is what is actually recording my voice. So when you listen to my voice on these videos, and I'll put up a track right now, we'll just listen to it. Now, if you're not used to using full syncers, you can roll them up, pull them out smoothly, and send them on their way, just like that. You can hear that audio is quite clean. There's not a lot of wind noise, even though there was some wind that day. No problems. And that's what I was using, one of these. And this is not expensive, by the way. You know, that I think cost me about $100. So, you know, modify a ball cap, put a lav on it, use that. You have very clean audio. You see, I also have headphones here. When I'm in a more static situation, I will bring out the headphones so I can really hear the audio well. I'll hear it a lot better than that earpiece. I can really tell what's going on, what's going into the camera. Also, as I say, my previous video, I talked a lot about the TG5, or now the TG6. I will use that on occasion too. I will put that together with, let's say, that GorillaPod, and put it somewhere so I can get a third camera, and I'll use the audio in this. So when I'm done, I could have as many as 4 tracks. I'll have 3 camera tracks and 1 recorder track. Combine them together in software, and I end up with a multicam shoot with great audio. So my secret really for getting good audio out of this is not the expensive wireless. It's not the expensive shotgun mic. It's a relatively cheap recorder and a hat with a lavalier mic attached to it, and it's been a blessing. I mean, I don't want to get rid of the wireless or the shotgun mic, but the reality is I could get rid of it. and just use the recorder with the lav. And it was a cheap resolution. This is what gets me. It's the cheapest solution I had. Because you can't really rely on the mics and the cameras, especially the mics and the GoPros. They're suck. But, you know, they're good for synchronization purposes, and I use it for that. The times when I want to go simple, and I'm using, let's say, this sling pack, I've got this bracket that I've put on the strap, and this is a commercially available bracket for cameras. It's actually a camera mount that you can put on, you know, a backpack strap or something like that. So I put it on my sling pack strap, and I can put either, you know, my little TG5, or I can put a GoPro on it, and you know, then it's following my body as I turn. I don't really rely on it too much for audio. I mean, I could use the recorder setup. Often I don't. I'm just shooting stock when I'm doing that, so I'm not fussy about the audio. And you know, that's a good solution when you want to mount something on yourself. Also, GoPro sells this chest mount arrangement, so I'll often wear the GoPro on the chest mount if I'm not wearing a sling pack. For example, if I'm just out steelhead fishing in the fall, I'll just have a jacket on my flies, and that will be in a pocket, so that's all I carry. And I'll have this, you know, underneath the jacket with just the camera poking through. It does a perfectly good job. It's good for mounting the GoPros, and there are ways to mount a regular camera on it too if you have one. So that's basically my rig for doing outdoor videos. I think the key for my success lately, to make life easy for myself, is the fact that I've got my tripod that mounts both the GoPro and my Panasonic. So I've got one tripod with two cameras pointing at me, and I've got a variety of views I can do with it. And the other thing, which I've been using for a long time, is the recorder with a lavalier mic. Wow, does it ever solve the audio problems. Now, the only other thing that goes with that, you have to have software that enables you to put the two together in post-production, but if you've got that, you're good to go. So that's my outdoor audio stuff. And as I say, the quality has been going up and up and up as I slowly defeat problems. So perhaps you can benefit from my experience, and instead of spending all this money, you can go a hell of a lot cheaper, recorder, a lav, a camera, and you're good to go. Cheers.